Hello, YouTube live stream. I'm here to share about building an empire of money and fame in hip hop. It's meaningless. It's meaningless. The world that we live in, they bow down to people who got money and fame. They bow down. So I'm here to share from the Bible. It's a man named Solomon who had an empire of money and fame. But in the Bible, it says, the laborers build in vain, lest the Lord build the house. Okay, it says right here in Psalms 127, verse 1, as an ancestor of Solomon, unless the Lord builds the house, the builders build in vain, and the Lord watches over the city and guards them. So, building the empire of money and fame in hip hop, in the hip hop music businesses, is meaningless. It's meaningless. And that's not success. To build the empire of money and fame in hip hop. And I'm finna share about this guy named Solomon who had everything. He had a he had an empire. Hmm. He had an empire. So we're gonna go to Ecclesiastics. 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 Here we go to Ecclesiastics. Okay. Building an empire of money and fame in hip hop. Pleasures are meaningless. It's meaningless. And this is Solomon in Ecclesiastes 2. And it says, for which such wisdom comes sorrow. The word more than knowledge and more than grief. This is about Solomon. The stuff that these rappers rap about today and how they talking about they got an empire and they got an empire of money and fame. This guy right here named Solomon had it all. Pleasures are meaningless. I said to myself, come and I will test you with pleasures to find out what is good. But that also proved to be meaningless. Laughter, I said, is madness. And what does pleasure accomplish? I tried to cheer myself up with wine, embrace folly, and my mind still guided me with wisdom. And I wanted to see what was good for people to do under the heavens during their few days of their lives. Ecclesiastes 2. I undertook great projects. I built fine houses for myself. I planted vineyards. I made gardens and parks and plants and all kind of fruit trees in them. I made reservoirs to water groves, forest trees. I bought male and female slaves, and I had others slaves who were born in my house. I also owned more herds and flocks than anyone in Jerusalem before me. Absolutely, silver, gold for myself, and the treasures of a king could be provided. Required female singers and harlots, as well as the delight of a man's heart. I became greater by far than anyone in Jerusalem before me. And all this, my wisdom still guided me. Ecclesiastes 10. I deny myself nothing my eyes desire. I refuse my heart no pleasures. My heart took delight in all my labor, all this reward for my labor, toil. Yet, yes, yet, when I survey all that my hands have done and what I have toiled to achieve, everything is meaningless. Meaningless. A meaningless chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. When wisdom and folly are meaningless, then I turn my thoughts to concern wisdom. So this is Solomon. He had everything, but he said it's meaningless. To build the hip hop empire of money and fame and be famous, pleasures are meaningless. It's meaningless. And Solomon said in Ecclesiastes 2, toil is meaningless. So I hated life because the word, the word, the work I done under the sun was grievous to me. All of it is meaningless, chasing after the wind. I hated all that I have toil for under the sun, because I must leave it to someone who comes after me, and who knows whether that person will be wise or foolish. Yet they will take control over all that the fruit of my toil, yet which I poured out my effort and skill under the sun. This too is meaningless. So my heart began to despair over all my toilsome labor under the sun. For a person may labor with wisdom and knowledge and skill, they must leave all on my own to other. So Solomon had all that stuff. It's empty. It's empty to build a hip hop empire, to have millions of dollars and put your trust in money. That's empty. Because then you're gonna have to give it up when you leave her. It's all empty to build a hip hop empire worth millions of dollars. What's the use? Solomon had it all. That's not success. To have a $200 million empire full of money and fame, that's empty. It's so empty. And it says this in Psalms 49. Yeah, that's empty. It really is. Because when you leave her, somebody else gotta get it. It's all empty. Psalms 49. Do not be impressed with those who stack up fortune and fame. Psalms 49, verse 16. So don't be impressed with those who get rich and pile up fortune and fame. They can't take it with them. The fame and fortune all get left behind. Just when they think people praise them and they arrive because they have made it, they will enter the family brew plot where they will never see sunshine again. So right there in the Bible, he said, don't be impressed with those who stack up fortune and fame. Having 300 million or however millions you got, it's empty. It's empty because that's not success. Having a big empire full of money and fame, that's empty. So right here in Psalm 49, Jesus Christ said, don't be impressed. Don't be impressed by that. Solomon had all that stuff. So having millions of dollars in hip hop is not success. Having a big old empire full of money and fame is empty. It's empty. This is what I'm standing on. And then it says over in let's go to Timothy. Yep. Let's go to Timothy. Because that's not success. Okay. I'm in 1 Timothy 6:17. Timothy. Yep. Timothy. Timothy 6:17 says, final charge to, it's the final charge to Timothy. Command those who are rich in this present world not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God, who richly provides us for everything. 1 Timothy 6, for our enjoyment. Command them to do good, to be rich in good deeds, and be generous and willing to share. In this way, they will lay up treasures for themselves as a real foundation to come, so that they may take hold of true life. Timothy, guard what has been entrusted to you. Turn away from godless chatter. So he says right in here, command those who are rich in this present age, in the present age, not to be arrogant, nor to put their hope in wealth, which is so uncertain, but to put their hope in God. So I'm not supposed to put my trust in money and rappers trying to build $1 million empire, and they're gonna lose it anyway. When they leave this world, all of it's going away anyway, and that's not success. Nope. Solomon had all of it. What I just finished sharing with you is what the Bible says. Okay, building an empire of money and fame in hip hop, the pleasures are meaningless, and that's not success. It's empty. Bye bye.